Hello, my name is Michael Dwyer, and I'm with Rochester Writers. Once again, Rochester Writers and the Rochester Hills Public Library have teamed up to host their annual author fair, now in its third year. We're hosting 20 authors in person at the library in downtown Rochester on Saturday, November 27th from 10 a.m. until 3 p.m. These short videos offer you a chance to meet each of the 20 authors. And right now, we have Brenda Hasse. Hey, Brenda, how are you?
Good. How are you, Michael?
I'm fantastic. Thanks again for joining us. And we are back in person for the third annual. We look forward to having the tables set up, and you will be staffing one of those tables with all of your books. I think the last time we spoke last year when you were part of the event, A Victim of Desperation was your newest book out. Remind everybody what that's about.
It is a biography. I happened to meet the victim at a book signing, and she just kind of told me her story. And we kind of parted ways at the end of the day, and I had to track her down through Facebook. So I was kind of a creeper. And I made contact with her, and I felt like people needed to know her story to help prevent other people from falling victim. So she agreed to work with me, and I interviewed her quite extensively, trying to make sure I had her story as accurately as possible. So yeah, A Victim of Desperation is a biography about this woman's life.
So nonfiction have you done other nonfiction?
No, I mean, I've written newspaper articles, and I used to write for magazines, but this is my first published novel as a nonfiction book.
And an important topic to cover, absolutely. How is it being received, and what kind of feedback have you received?
It's been received very well. It ended up debuting as a #1 release in its category on Amazon. I've since been asked to speak at an art gallery that's going to have an exhibit about awareness about violence against women. And so I'll be talking about the book there and doing a signing, and that's on November 12th at Cause and Effect Gallery in Fenton.
Great, great. And you write in a lot of genres. Tell us about some of those that you create. We were always told that cross your genres and do as much as you can, and you're doing it.
Yeah, I would say I would classify myself as an eclectic writer because I write a little bit of everything. So I do have the biography. I mainly write romance, either young adult or adult, mostly historical. I like the historical genre. I do have children's picture books. Probably the most popular is A Unicorn for My Birthday. And I do have a trilogy of metaphysical visionary that deals with life after death.
Wow. Okay. And your new book is kind of timely right now in the haunting Halloween season and headed from fall into winter. And I'm looking at the screen here, The Cursed Witch. Now that sounds spooky.
It's actually based on history. So a lot of the people, the characters that I mentioned in the book actually existed at one point. And it talks about the true case of Anna Stewart, who was a real person in Edinburgh, Scotland. It's dated 1828. At 18 years old, she was pronounced dead, and she was buried. And during this time period, Edinburgh decided that hanging, I guess, convicted criminals was inhumane. But what they would do with the criminals once they were hung, and they would donate the body to the anatomy theater for the medical students to dissect. Well, once they quit doing that, there was a demand for the bodies still. So the poor that lived amongst the streets, they would go into the graveyards and they would dig up the bodies and sell them to the anatomy theater for 8 to 10 pounds, depending how decomposed they were. So Anna was buried and dug up, and when they threw her body onto the ground to refill the hole, she actually sneezed and scared these two men, Martin and John, and they ran out of, they call them kirkyards over there, but they're graveyards. So that's how the story kind of starts.
Wow, that sounds interesting. I'm looking forward to reading that. And we only have about 30 seconds left here. We're at the Author Fair Live. Tell people what they can find when they come by your table.
They can find a plethora of different books to read and enjoy for the holiday season. Even stuff for children. I'll be happy to talk to anybody and answer any questions you have about writing and becoming an author. So I look forward to meeting everyone.
Great. Well, thank you so much for joining us. Brenda Hasse, one of the authors at the 3rd Annual Author Fair. We'll see you there.
Great. Thank you.